Welcome back to our IGCSE ICT data analysis video series. I'm still Mr. Mzipele Mzebele. So today I'll be taking you through formatting numbers, maybe using Microsoft Excel. So I'll be formatting numbers. So the most easiest way to format numbers is just to select them. Let's say you want to make these numbers decimal places. Okay, I've selected these numbers. Okay, if you want to select multiple maybe cells, so different cells that are not following each other, I can just click here, drag, then press Control and select this cell. So I've selected 1, 2, 3 cells now, so I can format the cells at the same time. Okay, then I click this dialog launcher in the number ribbon. Remember, we're still in the home tab. This is the home tab. Okay, let me click this one. Okay, we're in the home tab. Then I click the dialog launcher here. So here are the categories I can use. So if you are supposed to use currency, maybe you are supposed to change that number to a currency, then you can click currency and then select the currency decimal that you want, the currency decimal that you want. Can also use change to date, time, percentage into a fraction maybe, and then yeah, and everything else. So in any format that you want. So want to make it a number with one decimal place, so if I select here, use 1000 separator. Okay, let's just try to avoid that for today, and we'll leave that for another day. So when I click OK, you see that these numbers are now formatted to one decimal place. But sometimes you will be asked to format numbers to one decimal place using a function, using an inbuilt function. So how do we do that? Okay, let's just format this number. So today I will introduce you to the round function and the int function, the round and the int. So I want us to start with the int function. Let's look at the int function. So when I type equal sign, okay, or maybe click f of x here, then I go here to search. You can search for the int function, type int, click go. This is the int function. Okay, just want us to read here. The int function rounds a number down to the nearest integer. So it rounds the number down to the nearest integer. So click OK. So which number do I want to round down? It's K4 here. It's the cell K4. Then I click OK. So the int function rounds the number down to the nearest integer. So 76.16667 will be 76. Okay, maybe let's just change 1 here and see what happens. Okay, let's maybe input a 90. So 80, the nearest number is 80, the nearest integer to 80 is 80. Okay, maybe let's change again, maybe let's put 88. Okay, then 79.66. This is supposed to be 80, but because we use the int function here, then it will change to 79. Okay, maybe let's write below here int function. This is the int function. Okay, and then we also have what we call the round function. Okay, let's just round right here, round function. Okay, maybe let's leave it to round. Okay, and remove this function so that for consistency. Okay, maybe format this to be on the right, so that it's, or maybe center, align it to the center so that Yeah, it looks good. Okay. So when I lose the round function now, okay, let's type equal sign round, or okay, let me just click f of x and search for the round function, round, click go. This is the round. As you noticed, there is round up, there's round down, and round up. So let's look at them all. So round rounds a number to a specified number of digits. So this one rounds a number to a specified number of digits, and the round down function runs down a number towards 0. So it rounds down a number as I've just mentioned, okay, and then rounds up, it rounds a number away from 0. So we'll look at them all as to what they really do. So let's click the round function. So this is the number I want to round. Remember, it's K4. I click here first inside this box number, okay, then I click the number of digits below. So I have to state that how many number, the number of digits to which you want to round. Negative rounds to the left of the decimal point. 0 is the largest, is to the nearest integer. So if I say 0 here, for example, then click OK, then it will round my number to the nearest integer. So 79.666 can be rounded off to 80. Okay, let me change this again. Can click inside here, then click f of x. So if you want to show the function again, you have to click the cell with the function, and then you click inside this function. So I can click this function. So if you noticed, this function has two parts. So functions can have one or more parts. So this one has two parts. This one has to have the number, which is K4. Okay, now want to round it up, want to round it to the nearest decimal, one decimal place, to the one decimal place. And when I click OK, then it's supposed to be 79.7. Okay, maybe let's now round this number using the round up function. Round up, okay, here we'll use the round down, just to see what this two function does. Okay, so this is the round up function, equal sign, okay, maybe f of x here, just type round, click go. So this is the round up, the round up function first. So I want to round up K4. I click on K4, then come back to number of digits. Okay, maybe let's say 1 again. Okay, maybe let's use 2 this time. So when I round up this one to 2 decimal places, it will give me 79.67. Okay, maybe let's look at the round down, equal sign, round, okay, round down. Okay, you can now click f of x, no problem. There's another way of entering a function. So it's K4, and then the number of digits, let's say 2 again. Let's say 2 again, and then we click OK. So you notice the difference here. So when you round down a number, it 79 point, this number here can be rounded up, can be rounded down to this number. So it's 79.66 when it on 2 decimal places. Okay, maybe let's change the number of decimal places here in my formula here, and then maybe type in 0 and see what happens. So this one will round it down to the nearest the nearest towards 0. Let's say towards 0, yeah. Then round up. Okay, let's change here from 2 to 0. Yeah, then it rounds up to towards or away from 0. So the best function then to use here is the round function. So we want to round up these numbers here to a round function. Okay, so when we round up, okay, let's remove this, don't need it anymore. Okay, so we have a problem now here, because these numbers now here and here, the averages, there is another function, the average function, that is inside these cells here, where I'm supposed to, okay, where I'm supposed to round off these numbers. So the average functions here. So today I will be introducing to you nesting functions. Nesting functions. Nesting functions is simply putting a function inside another function. It's very easy, don't stress. We'll just put another function. So we'll put the round function. Put the round function. Okay, let's open the round function. Yeah, round function, we said it has two parts. So the number that we want to round is this one now. So want to round this number, and to how many decimal places? Maybe to 1 decimal place, so that we get 62.9. So okay, you have to know that how many decimal places does a function have. I mean, how many parts does a function have? So each and every function has to have a given number of parts. So they differ. The number of parts in a function differ. So we know that in a round function we have 2 parts. So the average, okay, the average is a number. This is actually a number. So when you compute this, we will get a number, okay, with a decimal places. So for us to round off this number, we need to click. Okay, I will click here. Click here. Okay. So I know for sure that I want to use the round function. So I can type R. So Microsoft Excel now gives me all the functions that start with an R. So I need to continue, maybe O. So this is the round function. I double click the round function. Double click the round function. So it opens a bracket for me. But if I didn't want to double click, I can continue typing round, and then I open this bracket. Type in round and open this bracket. So now, as you can see, this number here, the word number is highlighted. So the parts in Microsoft Excel are separated by commas. So this is the number which is my average. So I have to get the average here. The number is an average. Okay, so I don't have to remove this, so it's okay. Then I'm done with the number, this part, I'm done with this part. So if I click number here, then it will highlight average, because this is the first part. So if I insert a comma now, make sure when this is highlighted, don't just type in the comma, because it will remove these words here. Okay, so make sure you click here and then type in this comma. This is the comma, the small comma next to number here. I type in that comma, and then num digits is now highlighted. So I want num digits is actually the number of digits I want number of digits I want to round off my average to. So I want to round off my average to 1 decimal place. I'm one decimal place. It's the number of decimal places. The number digits is the number of decimal places. Okay, and then I close my bracket. So if you notice this bracket here, if I open this bracket, it's black in color. So I also have to have a bracket to close this bracket here. So, and then the average has red bracket and a red closing bracket as well. Okay, let's press enter and see what happens. So my number is now rounded off to one decimal place. Can do it again on this one. Okay, type in round, then open bracket, or just double click round here. Okay, I can also click F of X now here. Can just click F of X here, and then it becomes much easier for me. Okay, so if you notice when I click off F of X here, okay, let me put this one just next to this formula. Microsoft Excel, so it means you should be worried now of this function here. So my cursor is inside average, but if I click here on round, then you notice that this now has changed into the round function. Okay, the number I want to round is the average. So this is the average. So the number of digits I want to round my average to, number of decimal places is 1. So you can also see here the result. So here is my result, and then I click OK. Then this number is rounded. Same thing here again. Let's look again. This one, I can click here next to my equal sign, between the A and the equal sign, inside the A and equal sign. Then I type in round, because I want the round function. I double click. This bracket opens here, the black bracket, and the average has a red bracket. So I have to close the black bracket. Okay, but before I close, the round function has two parts. Remember, the round function has two parts. As you can see here, it's number, then comma, the num digit. So if I click number, it will highlight this. Okay, so I can click the words round here, click anywhere in the words round, on top of the words round. Okay, then click F of X. Then it will automatically put this average here, the number that I want to round. Okay, number of decimal places. Okay, let's maybe say 2 here. Okay, then I click OK. Okay, now it's okay. Can replicate this. Looks good. So the formatting will also be replicated to the other cells. Okay, so the formatting will be replicated to the other cells. Okay, so I can do this as well on all, can replicate on all of my function. So now we'll know that the average, class average for test 2 was this one, and then for test maybe for test 3, this one. Okay, then to get the highest mark, can also replicate by doing like this. Maybe select this 2 first, and then this is also allowed. So now my spreadsheet is getting into shape. I was able, maybe, okay, let's put the borders here. Say this is how we put borders. Okay, it's just a revision of what we've done so far, replication and the borders. Okay, let's continue replicating here and here. Okay. Oh, don't want to get that. I want to replicate the maximum function inside here. Okay, so this is the biggest number, 90.3. Okay, and also want to replicate this average here. Okay, it's okay, average. Then this one also here, 35.5 is the lowest yearly average, yearly test average. Okay, so now on the next video we'll be looking at more of these functions. So now we've gotten down to business. We'll be looking at more functions from Microsoft Excel. So we'll be looking at the lookup functions. Lookup functions, we'll explain them in the next video. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified as I upload more videos of this series here. Thank you, and goodbye.